Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name's Marissa and this is my first video. So for my first video, I'm going to talk about something they don't tell you while you're pregnant. One thing they don't tell you about while you're pregnant is CMV, which is also called cytomegalovirus. Cytomegalovirus is a virus that you contract from urine, from breast milk, from body fluids. It's a virus that hides in your lymph nodes, and it's a virus in the same family as the herpes virus. No, it's not herpes. No, it's not a sexually transmitted disease. It is a virus that most people are exposed to by the time they're 40. So the symptoms as an adult could be sore throat, fever, like a common cold. But what's dangerous about cytomegalovirus is being pregnant. So when you're pregnant, your immune system lowers, and if you have cytomegalovirus, it can transfer to your baby. It can attack your baby. So it can attack your baby's brain, their hearing, their vision. No, they don't test for it while you're pregnant unless they have a reason to. When I found out my son had CMV, we were in the hospital. I had a C-section and he was hypoglycemic. His sugar levels weren't stabilizing. So they took him to the NICU the day after I had him. He wasn't stabilizing. He had small birth weight. He was 5 pounds, 5 ounces. So they put cotton balls in his diaper, and thank God they did, because his urine came back positive for the CMV virus. I'm in my hospital room. I'm on pain medication. I'm very tired and just kind of, scared. And I'm video chatting my boyfriend while he's in the NICU. During COVID, we could only have one person in the NICU at a time with him. So I'm sitting there on the video chat, and I hear the doctor come in, and they do their rounds and they read out everybody's plan of care. And I hear him say CMV virus. They may have to check his spinal fluid, do a spinal tap, and I start freaking out. My boyfriend tells me, babe, they say he has CMV. And I'm like, what is that? No one ever told me about that. I never knew I had that. How did I pass it on to him? Hurry up and come back to the room so I can get down there. This was all on the day I was getting discharged. So it was a lot of stress. And a lot of stress on him too, because every time before he would eat every 3 hours in the NICU. They would feed him every 3 hours. He would get his foot pricked and his sugar drawn. And he hated it. He absolutely hated it. He didn't mind the prick, but he hated them squeezing the blood out of his foot. So I get down there, I'm a mess, I'm crying, and the infectious disease doctor comes in, and she explains cytomegalovirus to me. My mind wasn't really with it at the moment. I had just had a baby. I was on, like I said, pain medication, and I hadn't slept. So I didn't really understand her, so she gave me a break. And she told me she would come back the next day to, break it down to me and talk about our actions after, he tested positive. So I start Googling, which is something you should never do. She even told me, never Google unless it has, like, .org. Don't read anything and take it as factual if it has .com, because anybody can post anything on the internet. But some of the symptoms from cytomegalovirus for babies was microcephaly, cerebral palsy, and hearing loss. And it just broke me, because who knew, for all the months while he was in my stomach, this virus was attacking him. She came back the next day. She talked to me and told me all the tests we were going to do on him. So he had an ultrasound, a little scan of his brain. It came back good. He got a hearing and vision test. They came back perfect. He didn't have these dots. Normally, when a baby's born with CMV, they have these little, like, patches all over them, like these little dots. He didn't have. She tells me they would have never known he had CMV, like a lot of other babies. They never know they have CMV if they have no symptoms, and then they don't test for it and you leave, and then a few months later, a few years later, your baby loses their hearing or something goes wrong, and then they test, and then it's too late to take his antiviral medication. He is on something called valganciclovir, and what that is an antiviral to help protect him from the CMV. They don't tell you about CMV when you go to your checkups. They don't test you unless they have a reason to test you. And if there's extra fluid in certain areas around the baby, if he's measuring really, really small, and a few other things. So I got my antibodies drawn while I went and got a checkup for my C-section. So my IgG came back positive, which means I've had the infection in the past. And my IgM came back negative, which means it's not actively attacking me right now. Cytomegalovirus never goes away. It hides in your lymph nodes. For the rest of your life, you have it. It doesn't come out until your immune system lowers, and then it attacks you, causing the cold-like symptoms. I'm making this video for my friends that are pregnant or other women that are pregnant that accidentally come across this video to stay aware. Inform yourself about CMV. Wash your hands after you change your baby's diaper. If they go to daycare, don't kiss them in the mouth. Don't drink off of their straw. Don't, because kids in daycare carry it. It passes around inside of a daycare. It passes around in the public, but most likely it's kids that carry it. We can fight it off as adults and older kids because we have established immune systems. Babies don't have that strong of an immune system, so it can attack them in a different way than it affects us. A lot of things can happen to your baby just from a kiss, just from accidentally forgetting to wash your hands, just from eating off of your baby's fork, and they've contracted CMV from daycare, sharing a toy with another baby who had it, or accidentally eating something from a baby, another baby. I believe I most likely contracted it the first month of my pregnancy working at a daycare, but you never know. She told me I could have contracted it being a child in daycare, and it could have been there for that long. We never knew. And as of right now, with the update with my son, he is 3 weeks old, 7 pounds 6 ounces. He's doing great. He is on the antiviral medication. He is gaining weight like he's supposed to, growing like he's supposed to. His brain is still good. His blood is good. His white blood cell count, also, that's another thing. In the hospital, his white blood cell count and his platelets were really low. And that's another indicator that he had the CMV virus. They tested his blood, and it was in his blood. And she told me it can attack his bone marrow. So that's another thing. But as of an update for him, he's doing great. We just had a doctor's appointment, and she said he doesn't look like a CMV baby. They would have never known he had CMV if he wasn't hypoglycemic, if his sugar wasn't dipping the way it was, and he wasn't as small as the way he was, and his heart rate wasn't dropping. They would have never known. He would have went home like most babies who have the CMV that they can't detect or they don't test for, and they look genuinely okay, and they get home, and a few months down the line, a few years down the line, they lose hearing in one ear. They lose hearing in both ears, and mom and dad are like, well, we don't have hearing loss in our family. What's going on? Why did our baby lose her hearing? Test from CMV, and it's positive, and it's too late to get the antiviral medication. If you would like to know more about CMV, I'll link it down below. You can go to CMV Foundation. It's a website, and you can read people's stories, you can donate, and you can learn more yourself about it if you would like to inform yourself. I'm sharing this video because I want you to know, so it gives you the power to control your results. You can choose to get the medication while you're pregnant, if you do have CMV, to stop it from transferring to your baby. I didn't have that option, so I want other people to be aware so they have that option. Also, June is CMV Awareness Month. Share this video with anyone who's pregnant, anyone who knows someone who's pregnant. Send it to them, inform them, let them know. Get tested. Ask your doctor about it. If they don't make it a pressing issue, make it a pressing issue. Stay tuned for my labor and delivery story. Giving birth during COVID-19, because I definitely did. I gave birth on May 15th, 2020. And that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe and stay tuned for my next one. Thank you. Bye.